right, folks, John Rush here, my son Richard behind the camera. We're going to do the long review of the 2015. This is the, as you can see, the Dodge Charger, which this is nothing fancy as far as Charger goes. It's not the RT, it's not the SRT, it's just a regular Charger. This has the V6 engine. The V6, depending upon what model you get, is anywhere from 292 to 300 horsepower. And I'll be honest with you, the V6 in this car works fantastic. But more of that as we get into the driving portion. Let's do a walk around. As you can see, it's totally been restyled, redefined if you would. They've changed the front end, given it more of a slope here, changed the headlamps, the way they look. It's got LEDs. In fact, let me real quick, while Richard's taking those shots there, let me turn the lights on for you so you can actually see what that looks like. You should be able to see how it kind of wraps around, gives it really a good look to it. It's a nice car, and it's hard to see in here, but this is all lighted all around here. So at night, it's got this surround around it. It looks really, really good. They put the park lamp down here in the fender. Another nice added touch. They've redefined some of the sculpting along the sides of it, and they call it kind of a Coke bottle look. I don't know exactly how else to describe it. That's just what Chrysler, Dodge, I should say, actually calls it. Also has easy entry now on all the doors. It's built into the door handle. I'll talk more about that as we get into the interior portion. There's 14, I believe, different wheel options that you can get on Dodge Charger now. So this is the all-wheel drive version that we drove. You can see that on the back here. Actually works out fantastic. We didn't have any bad weather to work in it, but as far as the rest of the car, as far as it worked and drove and handled and all of that, the all-wheel drive worked fantastic. This particular model here is in the mid-30s, but you can actually, go up or down from there depending upon how you want to equip the Charger. So with that, I'll tell you what, it's really windy. We're going to try to do more of this from the inside the car today as we can to try to get out of the wind. We'll go take a drive. We'll do the interior portion. I'll give you my opinion at the end of the review. All right, folks, we're now going to do the driving portion. I'm sorry, my nose is running a little bit here because of how cold and the wind here in Colorado. We're still in March, and it's still a little chilly outside. But let me talk about the 8.4-inch nav system, a touchscreen system that Dodge Chrysler uses, which to me is a great selling point for these vehicles. It's best in class, works fantastic. If you want to change over from radio to media, run off Bluetooth, you can. I also have my seat controls, which are heated in this particular car. Climate controls are actually here. I can actually push over to nav. I can actually sync up my phone. And of course, it's got all the Uconnect apps, which is a whole nother realm that we've really never even gotten into. You can study more about that on Dodge's website. But I like the look of the interior. We'll talk more about that when we come back and do the interior portion. But this car has a lot of best-in-class features. I've really enjoyed driving it. As I put it into reverse, and I think you can see this on the screen, it does tell you, and you can see I've got the wheel cranked, it tells you where I'm going to back into. So I'm going to get along the curb line over here. You can just back right into it. It's hard to see that in the sun, but just back into it and off we go. I love the new steering wheel that they've done in the car, the logo that they've put on it. It's really, really a comfortable vehicle. And one thing, and we've been through this before, so I won't show you all the features, but the display, the LED display that's up on the dash gives you tons and tons of information where you can just cycle through it and immediately find out where you're at, what's your fuel economy, all those different things. So as we start driving, one thing I want to point out, and I'll talk more about this in the rest of the review, is I wasn't really too excited about driving this car. When I saw that it was coming, and we usually get a schedule of what cars are coming, and when I saw it on the list, I thought, okay, Dodge Charger, V6, okay, I'll drive it, but I wasn't too excited about it. You know what? I've been pleasantly surprised with how well this car works. This 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 works fantastically well. It's got plenty of horsepower for what, and that's even at our elevation. So keep in mind, you folks that are at sea level, you'll have a whole lot more horsepower than what we even have here at our elevation. But this 3.6-liter engine at our elevation works fantastic. I've even gotten the tires to squeal once or twice, and I believe my son Richard also did. So the car actually works fantastic. It drives well. It's comfortable. It's quiet. Fuel economy has been in the mid-20s. This is a car that I was pleasantly shocked at. And the more I drove it, the more I enjoyed driving it. And at first, I'll be honest with you, I first climbed in, I thought, V6, Charger, those two just don't go in the same sentence. Well, you know what? I've been proven wrong. They really do go in the same sentence. This V6 engine that Dodge is putting out right now works absolutely fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed driving this car. So Dodge, great job on the redesign of the 2015 Dodge Charger. I'll recommend this to anybody that's looking for a full-size sedan, especially in the all-wheel drive model. And you can get this in many, many different models. So please go to the website, check it out, go to your Dodge dealer, see what all they've got as far as options go in the Dodge Charger, because you can get this car equipped in many, many different configurations. With that, let's go back and take a look at the interior. All right, folks, I'm going to show you the little bit of the back end of the car. I forgot to show you the LED wraparound lights. We'll get into that, and then I'll pop the trunk here in just a second. But again, all new Charger 2015. Hood, sides, front fascia, rear fascia, taillights, lots of different things they've done. They've made the car look really, really sleek. I love the look of this new car. Not that I didn't like the look of the old car, but I really like the look of the new car. Again, wrap around like they've done on the Durango. Really a nice added feature, but I'll tell you what, we'll go in, I'll pop the trunk here in just a second and show you what the rest of it looks like. All right, folks, we're going to do the interior portion now. Hope you enjoyed the drive. I'm going to pop the hood, or pop the trunk, I should say. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, too, in the opening is all aluminum hood now on this car. And, of course, if you get some of the upper models, they've done even some other body panel changes. Dual exhaust, even though it's got the V6 chrome tips, which look really nice. But let's pop the trunk. I'll show you how much space we've got in the trunk. It doesn't open automatically, but it's sprung to where it actually works really well. Pops right open. Got a nice deep trunk. We actually made our Costco run in it over the weekend. It's got a really nice deep trunk. It's hard to see that with our lighting right now, but really, really nice deep trunk. Gives you the room to, gives you the ability to put a lot of stuff inside, a lot of storage capacity, I should say, down inside the trunk. Nice full-size sedan that works out really, really well. So let me close the trunk here. I'll jump into the back seat. And again, this seat, we do this on purpose. This seat here is back all the way, which gives you plenty of room. This seat easily could go up 3 or 4 inches and still give you plenty of room. But let me go ahead and climb in anyways. Move the snow brush over. And so even with this seat back all the way, I'm 5'10". I still have an easy, I don't know, 3.5, 4 inches in here pretty easily. So still really good leg room. This is the model that does not have all the leather inside. So you'll notice that it does have soft touch out here on the door panel itself. This is all plastic, a little brushed aluminum here. So only thing soft touch, and it's kind of a drawback to the car in my opinion. I wish they do a little bit fancier on the door panels. But again, the car's $35,000. So in reference to that, nice headroom inside. They did change where the rear stop lamp is mounted. You can see that right here as far as being inside of the rear window itself. But again, lots of room in the back. Now, can you put 3 full adults back here? It's going to be tight. You're going to get 2 full adults and a smaller kid in the middle. You're going to get a couple of car seats, which again, you can see from the room. And this is about where the driver's seat normally is positioned. You can see that it's a good, 3 inches ahead of this seat, which again gives you plenty of room to put a car seat, whatever else you want to put into it. But let's hop around again. Nice slope here. So if I'm a lady, I can climb out pretty easily, not get anything dirty getting in and out. All right, folks, now we've moved to the front driver's seat and, of course, passenger seat here. And I'll have Richard kind of show you the different two-tone. Even though it's a cloth material, they've done a really nice job of making this interior comfortable, even with it not being full leather. So nice two-tone look to it that they've done. Nice soft touch here in the middle. Kind of a carbon fiber look around the console. Gear selector here. I talked about in the driving selection, or driving portion, I should say, of the review, the 8.4 touchscreen, which I don't think I said this in the driving portion. Best in class with the 8.4 screen. All new steering wheel, which I did talk about in the driving portion of the review. They've just done a nice job on the interior. The only complaint that I've got on this particular car, and Chrysler, if you're listening, it still feels, some of this around here, it still feels a little bit plasticky to me. I wish this had more of a cloth feel to it around here, and I know that's hard to do, and it costs extra money to do that, which again probably changes the price point. So is that a deal breaker for me in this car? Absolutely not. This is a great car for the value. I've really enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed driving it. I tell you what, let's do this. Let me tell you what my opinion of the new 2015 Dodge Charger is as soon as we come back. All right, folks, my opinion of the 2015 Dodge Charger. Great car for the money. When I first got the Monroney on this car, I thought V6. I really wanted the V8, faster, more horsepower and all that. But you know what? I'm glad I drove this V6. It gave me a new appreciation for the V6. This is close to 300 horsepower. This car works phenomenally well. In fact, last week on the radio show, I was talking about some of the old muscle cars from the 70s, even some of the old Trans Ams and such, where, Smokey and the Bandit cars, where, they were lucky to have 220, 230 horsepower. This car actually with the V6 will outrun some of those old muscle cars from the 70s. So would it be greater with a V8? Yeah, it would. But is this V6 fine? Absolutely. It works fantastic. It runs well. I averaged in the mid-20s on fuel economy. In an all-wheel drive, full-size sedan, that's not bad at all. The car works really, really well. What are the cons to this car? A little bit of a plasticky feel, as I mentioned in some of the reviews. That's about the only negative that I really have for this car. It's an easy car to drive. It runs well. It's quiet. In fact, it's really quiet. I enjoy driving this car thoroughly. I love their touchscreen nav system they have, the 8.4-inch screen that Dodge and Chrysler are so well known for. That's one of my favorite things on the Chrysler cars altogether. So would I buy this car? Absolutely. It's a great buy for the money if you're in the market for an all-wheel drive sedan, which is best in class in multiple categories. Go out and test drive the all-new 2015 Dodge Charger. Go to your Dodge dealer, tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed this review today that we've done for you. And as my son always says, check out all the rest of the reviews that we have. Please make sure you go out and drive whatever car it is you're looking at yourself. Don't go off of any review that you watch, either ours or somebody else's, or what you read. You need to go out and experience the car for yourself. But remember, we're on air, Drive Radio, every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's here in the Denver, Colorado market. You can catch us on the TuneIn app at 560thesource.com. Just look for 560 here in the Denver market. You can also watch us live on YouTube. We stream our broadcasts every Saturday on our YouTube channel, Drive Radio, all one word. You can also find us on our website at drive-radio.com, and you can listen to us live right on our radio station's website, which is 560thesource.com. With that, we're out of here. Hope you have a great time, and thanks again for watching.